sorting video because I've seen some that I've really enjoyed, and obviously, there's a real history in ASMR of sorting and folding type videos being popular, so I thought I would try one as well. In this particular case, what I'm going to be sorting are skill check cards from the board game Battlestar Galactica, which is based on the more recent television series. If you like science fiction or television in general, you've probably watched it. It was very popular. One of the interesting mechanics about the game is that it's a cooperative board game like many other good ones. The difference is that there's the possibility at the beginning of the game that at least one player could actually be a Cylon secretly and therefore working against the efforts of the rest of the group. But the challenge of playing as a Cylon is that you're trying to subvert what the group is trying to do without giving yourself away. So you have to be very careful about it and look for opportunities to make mistakes so that they actually seem like mistakes and they won't suspect you. Of course, there's a lot of suspicion anyway. So one of the mechanics in the game where a Cylon has the option to do something that can hurt the group is when skill checks come up. And a skill check is essentially like a challenge. The group is facing some kind of problem that they have to attempt to get past. And the way they do that is everybody's holding a hand of these cards that I'm sorting right now. And so there will be a particular number that the group will have to achieve by putting cards in. And so let's say the number is 16, which is a fairly high number. And so the group will have to total 16 for their skill check. And the 16 will come from the numbers on these cards. And the skill check will only make use of certain colors of cards. So for example, the number might be 16 and the colors might be green and blue. And so if you're holding green or blue cards, then you can contribute to the skill check. And so if you're a Cylon, you might either put cards other than those colors in, which then takes away from the total that the group's trying to reach. So if I'm a Cylon and I put a purple in, then whatever value the purple card is subtracted from the total. And the reason it's possible to do this as a Cylon is all of the cards are put in face down and mixed up before they're counted. So that way, what it does is it just raises suspicion in the group that someone put a negative card in or two or more into the skill check. And a good element of the game that prevents people from immediately knowing for certain that there's a Cylon in the group who's done that is the Destiny deck. And the Destiny deck is made up of a mix of the other colors. And there are always a couple of cards from the Destiny deck that go into a skill check. So that way, no one knows what cards came from the Destiny deck into the skill check. So if you're a careful Cylon, at the most, people can suspect there's a chance that someone screwed up the skill check by putting the wrong cards in. Then there's also the possibility, at least once per game, that somebody put the wrong card in. So maybe you might do that one time and say, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to put that card in, and own up to it. Or maybe there are no Cylons in the group, but because the Destiny deck contributes a card or two that takes away from the skill check, then it means that the chance is out there, so people start to worry and they start to suspect each other. And that's when the game gets good, is when people start to get paranoid about who's actually working against the group. And you'll often see things like a player will be put into the brig, which is essentially like jail, and prohibited from taking any actions until they're let out. and maybe they don't deserve to be in. Maybe a clever Cylon has made it look like that person is the problem, and they're not. Players can also be executed, where you get shoved out the airlock. If you've seen the show, that's something that happens sometimes. If you're human, then you just die. But if you're a Cylon, that's a way that you are then revealed, because you die, but then you come back to life on the Cylon fleet. And once you're outed like that, and once you've revealed yourself as a Cylon, which is something you're able to do at any point, you have different abilities, and clearly you're no longer trying to fool anybody. You're just basically going to work, playing as the enemy and trying to ruin the game for the humans. So I'm just going to continue sorting these cards, and I'm not going to speak anymore. And you can watch, and if this is the kind of video you enjoy this one. And I'd love it if you would comment or subscribe, and I'd love some feedback. Thanks very much.